Well, those who don't know me, my name is Joe Schmidt, and I was born and raised in Springfield, Oregon, just 10 miles up the road from here. Uh, I went to school at Catholic school, St. Alice at Marist. Not a lot of you Crestwell folks don't like Marist, but that's okay. But um, I married my wife Michelle 30 years ago. We had three wonderful children, Brianna, Justin, and Zach. And I am an electrician. I've been lived here in Crestwell since '95. Been a member at the church since basically '95, '96. And the reason why I love our church is the people and their love for each other. So yeah.
I was born in Arkansas to a loving Christian family and stayed until I graduated to college. So I understand Doug's jokes. And my husband Charles and I will have been married 59 years this summer. Wow. We have 3 kids, 8 grandkids, a lot of fun family times. We moved here in 1967 and have been a member of the church ever since, and have done 872 million different jobs and ministries through the years, including working on the building. And so it's been a really important part of my life.
I guess the general stuff. I grew up my entire life in Crestwell. Joined the Army directly out of high school. Left the Army after 8 years, honorable discharge, and never really had much of a religious background, even though I did go to 5Cs as a kid. Never really was much into religion, even though I believed in God. But then thankfully through Sarah and stuff like that, slowly was in a way getting reintroduced to the religion aspect of things. And then so now, after the number of years, I am where I am now, with understanding a lot more and being able to get deeper into the Bible and reading and understanding more as I go.
One, I'm a preacher's kid, which makes me disrespectful to other preachers. 2, I was bitten by a rabid bat once in my life, and then was the victim of fake news stories about that, being bit by that rabid bat.
Well, I'm from Crestwell. I've been here essentially my whole life, other than a few years in college, and after that I lived in Portland for about a year, and I've been a member of the church for about 13 years, and came back almost every weekend during college for some reason, and been around here since. Work here, live here, care about our community.
Well, first of all, I believe that no matter what the question is, no matter what the dilemma, no matter what the problem, that love is the answer. And when I don't know where love fits into that answer, I will go to the 4 Gospels and see what Jesus had to say about it. And generally, it is love God with all your heart, your strength, your soul, your mind, and the catch, love your fellow human being as you love yourself. And you have to love yourself first, and that's what this church does. We bring you in, we love you until you can love you, and then Jesus comes into your life because you're ready.
Oh, I love our the way our church is going right now. It's even though with this COVID thing, it kind of put a halt to it a little bit, but I love that we're reaching out to families, younger families with children, and that's where my heart is. But I also know my heart is also with the church, within the church, and making sure those that are existing in our church are taken care of too, along with the newer coming in. So Our church, I'm excited about where our direction of our church and the newness of it, because I don't like being stagnant. It's always good to be flowing.
Well, it seems to me it fits really well with Jesus' teaching about when he asked what was important. He said, love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, strength, whatever. And the second is love your neighbor as yourself. And that fits loving Cresswell and doing the best we can for it in all the ways we can show love.
I think we're doing real good with meeting that, keeping with it. It's been difficult during the pandemic, for sure, sticking with it. But I definitely feel like it's one that I feel like we need to continue with, and continue to try to grow it, including internally to our church, the families and the children within our church, as well as outside of the church.
I think it fits our church in a way that I've seen it from very early on when we started attending at basically the same time. Of all the churches I've ever been involved with, for our size, this church does more for the people around it than any other church that I know of or was involved with in the past. It's got a bunch of people that are just amazingly willing to help others. Children and old people, doesn't matter. They're willing to pitch in and do something for somebody else.
Well, I agree with him. Obviously, a significant portion of Jesus' ministry was spent with people outside of his immediate group. And if we don't go out and spend time with people in our community, then we're ignoring a pretty significant part of Christianity. And on the other side of that, I see a pretty significant need right now for connection within our church. This year and a half of COVID or so, hopefully we're coming out of it. There's just been some issues with connections, and it's not necessarily our fault, but we haven't been proactive in combating it. So obviously very much so in support of our mission and values, but for the immediate future, I think we could use a lot of connection and love and care for our church body. I think these summer activities with breakfasts and camping, I think that'll help to do that.
It's how I got here. If you had not had that vision and that mission, I probably still wouldn't be here. And that would be horrible because I was unchurched, because I couldn't find a church that taught what I believed Jesus believed. There it was, Hope Restored, and somebody made a space for me, and I was hooked. And it took a while, but when I came in, this church does exactly what the mission says. We reach out to people, like I just said, love them, bring them in, let them know they're taken care of, and they'll know Jesus loves them because we love them. It's a good mission.